There's an old Japanese saying, the best place to hide is directly underneath the light. What that means is people fail to look in the most obvious places for something they're seeking. In the videos, we talk about the basic nature of women traits that by now I certainly hope, if you're anything past 17 years old, you're aware of, because there are so many resources out there. You have absolutely no excuse to not know what I'm talking about. To briefly talk about it, things like a woman is not interested in you, but the offer on the table. She never marries the person, she marries the conditions that that person brings to her life, and all those things. But you know, the reason I'm making this video is because as soon as I mention those things, and believe me, there's a sucker born every half a second. Actually, there are a dozen suckers born every half a second. People quickly say things like, you know, they're gonna change women, or they're looking for that one good one, or that they're gonna go overseas. These passport fools, I call them, who go overseas and thinking that they've discovered, they've stumbled upon a diamond mine that no one else knows about. You need to go, if you want to understand what my videos are all about, you need to peel the layers of onion far deeper than the average Joe. You need to think much deeper, and you need to go to much higher levels. And what I mean by that precisely is, you are not going to change what is. You are not going to change the forces of gravity. You are not going to change the forces of women. The only reason that women overseas are more accessible, they suck up to you, they smile at you, they look at you, whereas in your own country, in the West, women even won't give you the time of day. You know that's because of economics, right? You're not fooling yourself, right? You know that it's not 99.5% because of economics, but 100% because of economics. Because if you told those same women that you don't have any money, you know, you don't have any money to support them, actually you want them to help you pay for the lunch, you'll see how long they hang around. Okay, and if you go to places like South America and Asia, and you see a woman, you know, being nice to you 2-3 times, she's not being with you for free. She's just giving you credit. She's just waiting for a later time where the windfall is going to come back in, where her investment is going to pay off. Okay, so don't kid yourself. Please be smart, be worldly, and be wise, and be a deep thinker who peels far more than the first, second, third, or fourth layers of the onion. Go beyond the 7th and 8th and 9th and 10th. And to know where you stand, you know why people are acting the way they are. The entire definition, if you are going to derive one definition out of Red Pill, is knowing the true intention behind people's behavior. So I don't want to hear people come at me and saying, oh, I'm going to find that good one, that one, you know, diamond out of 1,000, that one good apple, or I'm going to go to Passport Fools, I'm going to go to overseas and find these women that are much nicer, much more, yes, they are more feminine in certain places in the world. They are more feminine, they dress nicer, they act like a woman, they don't try to act like a man. They don't take the role, they let the man, you know, take the lead and everything. All of those things are fine and dandy. But it's all because of economics. What I mean is, the nature of a woman is not going to change. She still expects you to pay for things and take care of her. Whereas if you're in the United States, she expects you to take care of her at a much more expensive level. Whereas somebody in Ecuador or Peru or Argentina or Eastern Europe or Thailand or Cambodia. This is what I want to get across to you. Please don't ever think that you're going to change the forces of gravity. Okay? Sir Isaac Newton will always be right. You will always be wrong. You will never win. Don't fool this. And you know, to every theory, there is a test. To every premise, there is a test. And if you want an absolute answer to your test, there is the acid test. And the acid test of what I'm just telling you about these passport fools is those mega fools, the fools that are on steroids and turbocharged. They go there, they say, oh my God, look at these women are just throwing themselves at me. It must be my looks. It must be my mustache. It must be my biceps. And they marry them and they bring them back here. And those women will teach them a lesson that they will not forget until they die. It'll stay with them until they die. To give you a very, very quick example, I know a brother of one of my best friends who's one of those from Indiana, USA. If you're not from this country, it's one of those states in the middle of the country where, people, are not maybe as aware. And there's aware and unaware people everywhere. But this guy is one of those really sweetheart, kind-hearted persons who believes everyone and trusts. Anyways, long story short, he brings this woman back from Thailand. And she was giving him all the attention and all she was saying, doing all the right things. He marries her, brings her here. I kid you not. After about 13 months, not only she has affairs with 2 other people, she starts selling the furniture out of his house slowly. And while she's lining up the divorce papers and everything for the right time, and until he starts noticing, where's the couch that was there? He goes, oh, I moved it, there or whatever. And so she picks up with a new guy to fool. She picks up with that new guy to fool him. Not that she's in love with the new guy. She lines up a lawyer to divorce this guy, take his house, he sold his furniture, take as much money as he could from him, and went on to her next victim like a black widow. So actually these women that you go overseas and bring them back here, they're going to be worse than the ones here, because you're bringing a kid to a candy store. At least the women over here, they're born and raised here, so they're used to the abundances of the West. But these opportunistic, these village, poor village women, working girls that come to the cities where you meet them for the sole purpose of meeting suckers like you, and you marry them and bring them to the West, they teach you a lesson you'll never forget. Bottom line, don't think you're going to change a nature of women. Don't think you're going to find that one good one. All women have the same basic traits. You are not going to change them. So, there are weaknesses and strengths, but they all have the same traits. Just like all normal heterosexual men are turned on or at least interested to look at a woman that's young and attractive and curvaceous and has the, right things in the right places. You're not going to change that. Peel the layer of the onion. Talk to me after you've reached the 9th layer. All the best.